So I got into field hockey because of my dad. I didn't play sports really my childhood. I rode horses, and one day he was like, "Oh, they need more players for this team, so I signed you up." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know about all that." So club is where I really found my love for it, because I noticed myself getting so much better, and I noticed everyone around me was also really good, and that made me more competitive because I wasn't as good as them, and that made me work so much harder to get to that next level.
First time I worked with Mia was a 5:45 a.m. class on a Monday morning, and right off the bat, I just noticed like her energy. Um, she was cracking jokes, just her great vibe. She was really hardworking. She listened super well, and she applied everything that we were coaching her, um, and she really put in a lot of effort.
So it was around ninth grade when I noticed that a lot of people were faster than me, and not necessarily stronger, but they were more dynamic and more athletic looking, and they played with more athleticism than me. And all around me in my high school games and my club games, I just noticed that I wasn't at the level that I needed to be playing at the time. Yeah, so I was never really the most athletic girl on the field. But then around that ninth and 10th grade area is when I really started to notice it. I noticed that in our defensive circle, the ball was hitting my foot, and I was getting penalty calls way more than anyone else. I was the leader of penalty calls for our team, my coach used to say. And it's because my feet weren't fast enough. I wasn't quick enough to maneuver around in the way that other girls could.
So I think one of the reasons that me and I have gravitated towards each other a little bit is we are both pretty tall, and being tall as a kid can be difficult for multiple reasons. You know, it can inhibit your ability to have hand-eye coordination. It can slow down your feet a little bit because you're not really growing into your body yet. And I felt the same thing when I was a kid. I never felt like I was one of the faster or stronger kids. You know, you got to push weights farther. You know, like you said, the bigger you are, or the taller you are, the harder you fall type deal. And when you fall behind like that, it can definitely be discouraging when you see other kids, you know, excelling at sports at a young age. But I don't think it's about peaking when you're, you know, in fifth grade. I think it's about always like improving and just kind of letting the process happen.
So it was this past spring, and I really was feeling like I wasn't good enough to play at the next level. And it was when I first started coming to PFP. I hadn't been coming very long, and I realized that I might not even want to play field hockey in college anymore. And the coaches were I would talk to them about what I was mentally struggling with at the time, like that I didn't think I was good enough to continue to play field hockey. And so I would have a conversation with them about it, and they all, no matter who I talked to, gave me really great advice.
Well, I know every PFP coach has been an athlete. You know, I think probably every PFP coach has wanted to quit their sport at some point. When an athlete comes to us and they say they want to quit their sport, I always just try to ask them as many questions as possible. You know, how they're feeling mentally. If there's anything that we can do on our end to, you know, help them get better at their sport, or just to be an ear to listen to.
Right off the bat, when I first started coming to PFP, the motivational message was a new thing, because at all the other gyms I'd gone to, it was like you show up and you just start warm up right away. And at PFP, they want to have a conversation with you first before you get started. They want to check in on you, and they want to try and help you learn to better yourself before you start physically bettering yourself. They want to help you mentally better yourself to get prepared.
You know, as a Frederick County kid myself, like growing up in Frederick County, I wish I would have known about PFP, because our motivational messages, you know, develop leadership, they develop communication skills, you know, time management, like we talked about, you know, moving on from mistakes, things like that. So it develops a leader. That's something that I didn't develop until I got to college, really, honestly. So like I was just kind of wandering aimlessly through high school sports. And, you know, if I had those, you know, resources, it would have helped me so much as an athlete.
PFP is more than just a gym. It helps you mentally. That's the first thing right when I walked in the doors. Everyone was so nice and so gracious and so welcoming. And that first success session in the mindful messages every day when you come, you get one. And I think that's really important because not only are you bettering yourself physically, but you're bettering yourself mentally, and that's so important.
Mia, I just want to say how proud I am of you. You are a pleasure to coach. You make it so easy to wake up at 5 a.m. to come coach you on Mondays and Fridays. I really look forward to it. I'm really proud of your effort, your energy. It's contagious, but I just want to give you all the props in the world. We're not done yet. I know you're getting some messages from some colleges, so we're going to just keep putting that pedal to the gas, just 1% better every single day.
I wanted to thank my parents, my sister, and all my coaches, especially Coach Kyle. And I also wanted to thank my grandfather for getting me to PFP every single morning at 5:45 when I sign up for that class. And he walks around the gym while I'm working out. Thank you so much for being so supportive and getting me where I need to go.